don't care.
Amateurs, yeah. The huge professional comedy guy podcast. Really, number one. Is it number one podcast by a foreigner in Estonia only because there's no one else? Maybe if you did it more regularly, there's no one else. Number one by default. Default.
Louis, listen, I'm so sorry that I was late by 9 minutes. I hate people who are late.
I saw that. I was walking around going, have you seen the Chinese guy?
Did you see me across the street? I was like standing right over there in front of the building, just trying to figure out how to park it for like 9 straight minutes. And I called them, actually. They have a plate with number.
The barking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They have a plate with number. No, it's Park Mina.
Oh.
So
okay,
it's like the
one.
state-owned one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same system. You kind of send them a text message you want to start parking.
Yeah.
1902 with your number plate and the place where you are. I don't know that. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Have
you never parked before?
I always park, but illegally. I never pay for it. So like, actually last week I got like a fine, a notice from the either the city or the guy who owned like Europark, whatever.
Yeah, it's Europark, probably, yeah.
They charged me a long list of like parking fine. I don't know how they found me because previously there's a guy who told me, a friend, Erky, shout out to Erky, who said that if I don't pay for the fine ever, they will not get my info because they can't access my personal information to reach out to me. But starting from this year, what they do is they have this new law now allowing them to reach out to the authority, the traffic control, whatever. And now they're like retrieving all those info, and like I have like 11 parking fine. It's like 300 something.
I'm with you on that. Like I read that as well. And also that now they're also arranging access. So if you get a fine in Latvia, that the Latvian Europark whatever entity will be able to eventually get your Estonian details and eventually get to you.
I thought they've been doing this for years because I got parking fine from Austria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they sent it all the way here. And it was in a small village. I thought nobody was like even
Did you tell them, I mean, just ignore it? And
I ignored it.
Yeah, wow.
I'm never going back to Austria.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but what, like, let's be straight up and down. If you run a parking company, you are a cunt. You are a massive, massive piece of shit. Nobody wants to pay for parking. You provide no service to society. You simply say, we're going to fine you and get poor fucks who need a job. I'm not blaming the parking people that walk around. Okay, they need a job. Fair enough. You're the fucking Europark say now, and they just put the money up and more money. What they did was now it costs to park in Teleskivi 50 euros a month.
It's expensive.
We said, go fuck yourself. We park over the road a little bit down the street with the barking because of pandemic. And so no one was driving anymore. So they need to make their Europark money. And so then they up the prices again. And what annoys me is when I read these news articles and there's always a goddamn fucking sob story from Europark. Like, well, I'm glad that they made these because we just need to be able to do fair business. Like, fuck you, Europark. You provide zero value to society. Everybody hates you. I hope your business goes up in flames. I hope nobody gets that hurt. Don't worry about that. I hope parking companies could go away and society would be a better place for it.
Louis, did you hear about this news? I actually read about it a while ago. There is a guy who rented a property in the city center, converted to a parking lot, didn't pay the city a cent in 20 years, and he keep asking people for the parking fee.
So
he rented the plot from the city.
From the city, yep.
Didn't pay anything the past 20 years. Somebody just like lost track of
the rent.
The rent that he didn't pay for the rent.
Wow.
For 20 years.
Wow.
Nobody found it out. I guess it's somewhere lost in bureaucracy or whatever. This guy just cashed in the past 20 years.
And did they catch up with him eventually? Or how did this come to your knowledge?
It just went to the news because somebody found it out eventually. Yeah. And it's like crazy because 20 years. It's downtown. It's next to that really tall like CBD. It's,
I must be 20 years. Like, I mean, that was the crazy times, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly. I think it was just going through the transition from the Soviet time to like the Free Republic, and somebody just see that opportunity and took it. like from a business perspective, I look up to this guy, but as a person, as a fellow person, I'm like, oh, man, I don't know about that.
And I would love Europark have caught up with me after a while because my policy with parking tickets is I wait for the first notice.
Yeah.
Like if it hits on my windscreen, throw it away. All right. First notice, at least maybe second, because you know what, Europark, you better fucking work for your money. Okay. I'm not just going to pay out of like, cause I'm scared of you or something. You need to track me down. You need to prove that you can find me, and then you need to prove that you can actually have some teeth against me. And for ages they couldn't. Now they do. Now they do shit. They'll sell you to the debt collector. And yeah, you can argue, or do you end up just paying the goddamn fine and moving on with it?
Man, here's the thing. I don't know. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, not at all.
But here's the thing. Like, I don't know how often you get it, but it's getting annoying for me because I get it so often. I guess it's about my car. It's so tiny. I drive a 2008 Honda Jazz. It's a little orange thing. It fit my color. I'm Asian, so like it's all color coordinated. It's great. I love that car. Like it's so economic. The fuel economy is good. I never had to fix it in the past 4 years, and I pay like absolutely nothing for it when I got it. But the thing is, I get so many parking tickets now. I'm getting worried. Like I'm going to get the permanent resident permit in like a couple weeks. I'm going to apply for it because I've been here for close to 6 years now, right? I think it's about the time I can do that. So I don't want anybody to fuck with that process. I don't want like Europark to somehow send me to the court and go through some kind of procedure. And
they can't do that in a few weeks. Get in now. That won't happen. First of all, on that parking fines. Well, now you just do the SMS parking and on and then off again.
And how do you get off?
You call. There's another number, 1903, I think.
Okay.
Is that you call that and it cancels whatever parking you currently
reasonable.
have. There's also an app that does the same thing but does it for you. Right? So there's a P for parking app.
Sounds reasonable.
And it'll actually show you, you're in this zone because it looks at your GPS. And then when you say start parking, all it's doing is sending the or whatever, I think the SMS starting and stopping.
Sounds good, man.
But permanent. Okay, the greater question that you had was, how much of the shit are they going to try and dig up when you go for permanent residency?
I don't know. It's super serious because I applied for it last year, Louis.
Yeah. Okay.
Last year, like when it was a 5-year mark, I went through the hoops and sent them the application, and somebody actually called me up and then said, like, the first 2 years when you lived here, your resident permit was associated with your study, so it was on the premises of a study, and that duration will be counted half the amount of the actual time. So in fact, that you didn't live here for 5 years, that's why we can't give you that.
Okay.
Yeah, but this year is like I have calculated everything. I know this year I'm eligible, but I still think they're going to be super harsh on it because it's very different. Like as I understand, right, from an immigrant perspective, as I understand, they're very cautious about giving out the permanent resident permit because it's
permanent.
You become like, I wouldn't call it a burden, but you become a responsibility to the state or the European Union because in those. If you do become one, like they can't get you out unless you like broke the law or something. If you lose your job, they have to pay you social support. They have to get you like welfare and all that kind of stuff. You're basically just like any other Estonian walking around. But you can't vote, but that's only difference. Yeah, that's it.
And you can't vote in government. You can vote in.
You can't vote in a local council and whatever. Council. Yeah, but don't you have it already?
No, which comes to my next question. Isn't there a language requirement on this?
Yeah, they do.
Wow, which what?
B1.
You can do B1.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I can't do B1.
I mean, you probably can do B1.
Probably if I tried, right? To get myself up to B1.
I mean, I think the thing is I went through the hoops and I think you can probably do it.
Did you do it? What sort of tests they make you do?
I don't have to do the test because I graduated like a master's degree and then they waive it because it was an Estonian-based program.
Okay.
Yeah. So they kind of waived that requirement for people who graduate with a degree. Yeah. But for those who doesn't, like, you can go through the exams in like this, they organize the exam quite often.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I really can't be fucked learning, but I know I've got to. Maybe to get to B1. Okay, maybe that's. Oh, I've got so many things I want to like. Not knowing Estonian is a major roadblock in my life. But then again, I've got, well, not major, but I feel like it is more and more. Like, I feel like at the start it is because you're like, oh, I can't understand. I don't know what's going on. And then after a while, you settle in, you know what's up. You learn a little bit, you know how to get by, and it's cool, right? And you actually, but then after a while, there is a deeper level, which I think I'm not getting to, a deeper appreciation for just what's happening each day and little bits. And I pick it up, but not 100% and not quite from the source and not quite reading many different versions of it. Oh, there's so many things I want to do.
Like, for example, tell me one thing that you feel like Estonian, not being able to speak in Estonian is like stopping you from doing that. Just one thing.
Sure, because it's not stopping me from doing any one particular thing. It's not like, oh, I can't do that thing. What I feel like it's doing now is it's leaving me unable to get a deeper view of Estonian society when what is my job? I'm supposed to be a comedian. I'm supposed to be commenting on society, finding things to talk about, getting, having opinions of something, right? It's really hard when you're just getting all these third-hand views, and so often I'm just really good at piecing shit together from what people tell me, and then, oh, I've got a view on something in Estonia, and maybe that's how opinions and views work. I don't know. But there's some level that I think I would want to know more, and I think it's blocking me.
I see what you mean. For me, Louis, I think it's about talking to people who are not like in our sphere, the elderly citizens, the younger people who might not speak English. Like those, I guess those motivates me, like to really try to speak a little bit, especially like after meeting Alexandra, my girlfriend. Like I started to learn more because her mother is an Estonian teacher, and she really made the case that I should probably be learning it. She bought me like this cute little notebook from Apollo, and then wrote like in front of me. This is not behind my back. She really made a statement. Like when I visited her, I think it was either the first time of my visit or the second time, we went to her place, and she took out this notebook and she's like, Pynchon, you don't speak Estonian, right? I was like, yeah. And then she put down Pynchon's Estonian whatever notebook, and then he put the date on it, make it official, and then on the first page he put on some already words that I don't understand, like in our conversation. The first word I learned on that notebook is niiske. Okay, it's a wet. I'll never forget that. But it's just because of her, because of the girlfriend, and because of her family, and now like I feel like, as I'm hanging out more with her and her family, I want to know what they're having fun with. Like they have so many jokes, they're cracking all the time. I don't get it. I'm just sitting there kind of like having a face of smile, but actually inside I'm like crying because I don't understand. That's like the moment. I think I'm like kind of funny, but I don't think I'm extremely funny. But I want to be a part of that joke. I feel like I want to contribute, somehow. And now I'm really working hard. I want to at least like do. I'm sorry. Yeah, I want to at least like do something with the language, just to be able to at least talk to her family like really well.
That is admirable.
Yeah,
it makes me wonder why. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any more excuses besides there's so many things I want to do, and there's so many things I'm already doing that I'm not doing well enough. And then I keep thinking, to add the language, but
what do you mean you're not doing good enough? That's like not okay. Right. That's not right.
Well, stand up, I'm not doing that. I can't seem to write. Podcast, I'm never quite happy with where this is going. I'm thinking, should I change directions or do things? With the company, I never quite feel like I'm a good enough leader and stuff like that. So So I do appreciate that if I got B1. Okay, I appreciate a few things. It's probably not that far beyond me. Fine. I can get that, right? Even the other day, me and Caleb were doing Caleb?
Yeah.
We were doing a private show out at a restaurant for some people, and
Just two of you.
the two of us doing that. They wanted English, and so we're at the restaurant sitting there, and they gave us a menu.
That's
and
awesome.
they give you the menu, and I'm like reading it, and then Caleb looks at it and goes, "I can't read this." And I was like, "What?" Okay, he's been here 4 years. I don't know. Like he's young though. He's 22, and I'm like, "What? Huh? Like, how do you even get by when you don't have food? Like,
Yeah.
you can't." Okay, they give me when we were at Pynchon and I met at a restaurant the other day. We both happened to be there, and I don't care if they give me the Estonian. Like, maybe there's a couple of words I got to ask or something like that. But coming back to what I had a story about getting the visa. So, very interesting about permanent residency, because I was just, so I've got 3.5 years left on my current visa. And my visa is dependent on my job. I employ myself in my own company, but I'm a bit like, I don't want to do that. Anyway, I found some loopholes. But anyway, the point is that in 3.5 years, I have to display a certain income to renew my visa. And that's not too hard, so I've never really
I guess it wouldn't be hard.
I never fucked around with it too much.
You're getting 5-year extension each time, right?
Yeah. So, and I got a 5-year, 1.5 years ago.
I think that's like the maximum length they will give you.
Yes, it is for that. And I was thinking even, in 3.5 years, who knows what I'm going to do in 3.5 years? Is it reasonable? Maybe my girlfriend, I convince her to marry me so I can get a visa by then, so the thing doesn't matter. Maybe I'm on that freight train. That's cool. But when I renewed my visa this time 1.5 years ago, talking about what they look at you for. So I got a couple of years ago, I got pulled up for illegally importing drugs. And drugs. Okay, the drug I'd be illegally importing.
What?
So I'd be. I guess, I paid my fine. I've admitted it. So I guess, I know.
What?
So let's.
What? You gotta explain yourself.
All right.
What happened?
So there's this stuff that I think helps. It's not like drugs, not like heroin or shit like that, right? It's a substance called Kratom. Have you ever heard of it? So Kratom is like this. It's made in Indonesia from this plant they grind up and stuff, and it makes you feel a little well, makes you feel good.
Sounds
It
organic.
can be used for pain relief. It can be used for general wellness. It's awesome for a hangover. And I was saying that I had some in America where there's some states where it's legal. And it's also legal in Amsterdam and all sorts of shit. And so, but it is illegal in Estonia.
How much did you bring in?
I forget, actually. So I got it sent in via Estonian Post, and they picked up a package.
Yo, did you go to Indonesia for that?
No.
You just ordered it?
Just ordered it online. So you order it from somewhere, it comes in, they picked up the package, and they sent me a notice and said, you need to tell us what this stuff is. So I went, I've been busted. Okay. So I go down to the port authority, because that's the customs is down there. There's a translator lady and stuff. I'm sitting there. It's not the police, but it's not a criminal offense.
Was the police involved?
But it's a kind of a... Well, I never actually interacted with the police. I interacted with the border guard, who are kind of police.
I guess they were. Law enforcement.
Law enforcement, yeah. So I sit down there, and they're like, look, you did it. This is against the law. They're like, didn't you know it was illegal? And I'm like, I didn't know about these things. And they're like, look, when you Google Kratom, the first thing it says is fucking illegal in Estonia. And I was like, Google, what's that? Never heard of such things before. So I had to have this interview, say I'm sorry, explain why I did it. They want to know if you're a dealer. They want to know if you're a pusher. I explained that I had it in America. I thought it was a nice thing. I thought I'd bring some, order some for myself here. And said I was sorry, said I tried to be as polite as I could to answer their questions. And they gave me a 300 euro fine, I think.
Did you get to keep the drug?
No, unfortunately not. No, I don't think it works like that, man. It's not. Here you go, here's your 300. And I think that's called a bribe. In 20 years ago, we left that behind almost. So I got caught. Not criminal, but you still get, and sure, I had a worry, right? So my point is, I had that whole thing. You pay the fine, it goes away.
Is it on the record though?
Well, when I renewed my visa, no, it's not the customs department. It's the police and whoever the fucking immigration people are, right? They write back and they go, okay, hey, yo, we look on your record and we can see that there has been an incident with the border, the customs. Can you explain this to us?
What do you want?
So that's interesting because they just said, we can see that there's been an incident, but they implied that they can't see what the incident is. They see that there's something on my record, but they can't dig in.
But it could be one of those mind game. Like.
Right. Well, then by this stage, I'm all on board, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, sure, let me tell you all about it. It was Kratom. Turns out you can't do that. I paid my fine, said I was a sorry boy, paid my fine, and they were fine with that. Because, I mean, I've done the crime and done the time already. So they weren't double, it's not a criminal offense. So maybe if I had loads of them, now I can't try and import any shit again. I got to find different things that I can do now. So clearly that method's not going to work anymore. I don't want to be caught again. I can't use the dummies excuse a second time. So my point is that if you got stuff on they're not going to reject you for unpaid parking fines.
Tricky, man.
And you know what to do? Because it's Estonia. I have experienced there's always a dialogue. They're like, yo, what about your parking fines? And if you just went, it's going to be a problem? I'll pay. If they say it's a problem, you just go, I'll pay. No problems. You pay and you're done, right? Australian attitude. You are only caught when you're caught. You're only in trouble when someone finds out and someone says, until then, you're a free man.
I like it. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't want to take any chances. I can't risk going back to China right now.
Yeah, right.
Nah, I can't. I just can't, bro. Like, I thought about it. I play with the idea. I talked to my parents recently. I said, like, maybe. Like, I'm graduating. I'm finishing my degree finally. Like, maybe I'll come back, Like, find a job. Like, be around you guys for a while. I'm the only kid. So I've been away from China for, like, 11 years now. Close to 11 years. And I haven't been back and visiting them and spending time with them. And they're getting old. Like, last time they come and visit, I can see my mom she was shrinking, like literally like shrinking in size. She's getting smaller and more wrinkly. And it just like kind of broke my heart a little bit because I spent all this year away from them, like, and they don't have anybody. They don't have a lot of hobby after my mom retired. And I want to spend more time with them, but I don't know how to make it in China. It's so weird of a place now. Like, I'm still keeping in track with what's happening in China, but it becomes such an alien place. Like, it frightens me, to be honest, a little bit. Like,
so you mean if you go back there and just try to integrate in society, you're going to have to get a job, you're going to have to do some things like...
Yeah.
You're almost implying there are ways of being and ways of acting that you just don't know anymore.
I don't think I would know it, first of all, but that's not a problem because I can get used to it. That's not the problem. The problem is, do I want that change? Because obviously there's a lot of things going on in China that I don't think that are something that I would appreciate. For example, the way how things are moving like so fast, I don't like that, dude. Like,
you mean social progression that...
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are just happening, and I don't think people are thinking it through. It's almost like the entire Chinese society, it's what we see about, like, think about what we're doing with the vaccine right now, right? Everything is being rushed, and people have doubts about, like, if it's good for your health, if it's gonna fuck you up in 10 years, 20 years. I hear all kinds of theories. People say that you can even get, like, like you can have weird babies if you get, like, the Johnson vaccine. Sure. That's what I heard.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. But the thing is, everything in China are rushed just like the vaccine, and nobody knows what's the consequence of it. Okay. It goes beyond that, and that scared the shit out of me.
I read they're doing 20 million people a day, vaccinating 20 million people a day.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I saw my mom and my dad. They just went to, like, no reservation needed, go to, like, just pass through this vaccination point, and, like, do you guys have time? Yeah, have time, come in. Little poke, you go. Like, there was nothing, like, no formality. They don't know who got vaccinated. You could be vaccinated already, and if you go there and you want to do it again, nobody would check it.
They just check it.
That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe they do.
Is the Chinese vaccine 1 shot or 2?
They have Sinopharm. I think that's what they called. Okay. But I think it's a 2-shot or 3-shot one.
Oh.
because it's the more shots you got, the less side effect you get. That's what I heard.
I know that in the West, we need to have the Pfizer and that shit. Like, we can't have Sputnik. And here in Europe, we can't have the Chinese one.
Yeah, Sinopharm.
Sure. But I'm like, I want the Chinese one, bro, because the Chinese fucking made this virus.
It's spicy. Yeah, man.
It makes sense to me that they'd have the cure if they made the virus. It's like, oh, whoops, we happened to found.
You know, dude, like, that's the thing. When I first hear about the news, when people started suspecting this thing as a lab-made thing, I was, like, not on board with it. Like, I was not on board at all. It's like fucking Western propaganda. It's fucking trying to bullshit China #1, you know? Like, I was like really not on board.
Yeah.
Like, not at all. But I don't know if you heard about this. I think it was last week. There was research done like in the States. And in the States, there's like a gene sequence in the virus that is just not observed in the nature at all. Like, it's definitely something that is being programmed in a lab. And then they linked some email leaking from the state side, Dr. Fauci, who was sponsoring the Wuhan lab to do certain viral experiment, which was not approved by the State Department. So it was like this whole thing. I don't believe in conspiracy theory, but it doesn't even sound like conspiracy to me. It's just like a lot of major fuck up that leads to the situation. I don't think anybody expected this. This is my theory, though.
Sure.
I don't think anybody wanted this to happen, but I know how things work in China. I know there gotta be fuck up. There gotta be people who just don't pay attention to shit, and this could leak. If it does, I know how people gotta handle it. They're gotta try to cover it up. They're not gonna be coming up and be like, yeah, I did it. No. Everybody will be like, let's get the fuck out of here, clear the ground, make it look like accident, and then trying to smush it out. That's my impression. I'm not trying to say anything bad about my country or anything like that, but I know my country too well.
And not only from a personal perspective, like you can imagine, you know your people, and you've just said you can imagine, whoa, cover up.
I do.
Whoa.
I do, bro.
But even at a macro level, it sounds like some fancy fucking Fauci. At a high level, right? At a national level.
Highest level.
No one, like, you can't admit, no one can admit it anymore. Because, okay, let's say...
What do you mean?
Like, let's say the blokes in the factory start going... The blokes in Wuhan factory, the lab now...
Factory.
Whatever the factory, they're all factories. The Wuhan lab, they're like, we did it, right? Mm-hmm. Then that means it's China's fault. Like,
okay.
A country... And then imagine the ramifications of it being China's fault. And we know, right? Like, legal... fuck, you just caused the world. I mean, what about legal? Like, you caused that. We lost so much money.
Not only money,
so many lives,
man.
All the things that can now be pinned on a nation.
Yeah,
and that's a huge repercussion. That's just like, yo, you killed more people than the fucking Nazis,
bro. I don't know even how that works because I don't think this have never been done before in such gratitude.
A and then they start calling it, if you say you did it, oh, we didn't mean to, but it was a bioweapon. You start saying, like, did you just try to wage war? You just killed. You made something and it killed a whole bunch of Americans. You think Uncle Sam's going to fucking do nothing about that? Like, yeah, I don't think they can ever admit it.
I don't know. That's the thing. Like, what if China does stand up and say, hey, you know what? That's us. Yeah. What's going to happen? I'm really curious now. Like, there's so much things that the West could do, like everybody else could do. Like, I wonder what they would do. Like, I'm the kind of person who want to stir shit up. Like, I want to see what's got to come. Like, I don't know if you have this feeling. I feel like something's brewing. I feel. This is what I feel. China is on the rise. Everybody's saying that. I don't know for sure if it is because I see news. There's still terrible things happening in China. I don't think it's on the rise. I think it's just it has always been like this. China will never change. It'll always be this nasty but powerful place. It has been like this for thousands of years, bro. Yeah. Like, if you look at it, it's always oppression and hunger and fucking fuck up, but it's always productive through the history because it's just so heated. There's so many people. They're all like bubbling up. You know? It's always like this. I don't think it's on the rise, but I think right now there's like more tension because it's so connected to the rest of the world, and other people might feel the presence more and more, especially now. Not only like the state is like reaching out to the world, like doing projects all over the world, it's also us, like fuckers like me. We're going to all over the places and doing all kinds of shit and sneaking our way into all kinds of societies, man. Like, when was the last time like you hear like I don't know.
But why? Okay, so then, let's say you have that view that okay, we all criticize our own people a bit more, but there's more. I'm pretty sure there's more Australians in Estonia than Chinese. Are there?
Actually, I don't know. We got like how many are there?
Actually, I have no idea how many. How many Chinese do you reckon there are here?
I reckon 200.
Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, maybe not 200. Because I was about to say, like, no one's complaining about the Australians. Well, they are, but not in the same way. Like, you complain about an Australian, like, fucking Aussie dick. Like, they're all those Aussie cunts are around everywhere doing their thing. But no one thinks we're spies. No one thinks we're taken over. You know, we never get accused of polluting the culture too much, you know, nothing like that. But get a couple of you guys along here. Oh, everything's changing.
A couple of you guys.
A couple of you guys. You fucking guys. I'm about this far from doing the I thing, okay? You can't cancel me. No one watches this anyway. Fuck you. That's great. No, I appreciate all my listeners. Thank you. That's only for jokes.
Dude, I don't know. It's I think it's don't you think the world need a villain? You know?
Ooh, okay.
We are the villain, man.
The world's villain. You give us all our shit that we like.
It feels good to be the villain,
Right.
bro.
And you're the because you give us all the little things, right? All the manufacturing, all the things that we like, all the little conveniences.
But those are like, you see, like that's a part of our villain persona. Like you provide, but you're providing the things that people don't necessarily appreciate. They use it, but at the same time they'll shit on it. Okay. Fucking made in China. I bought this pen, it broke. You know, it's like not like fancy stuff. Like if you buy like a Gucci bag, you know, people will treasure it. Even if it breaks, they'll be like, oh, it's handmade, man. It's craftsmanship. Of course, there will be like mishaps here and there. But like, it's different. I think for us, like China made or Chinese products, it's like a part of our existence now. Like that's one of our meaning to the world. That's a part of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that you produce the things that make the world, even if you're not.
You know how funny it is. Like there's one joke that I hear all the time. I don't know if it's a good joke or not. People keep asking me like, "Yo, dude, you Chinese? Yeah, like do you break off the?" I get this in the gym a lot.
Wow,
like
really?
I go to the gym if we're like, not from strangers, but like from people already know.
Yeah.
You know, if we have like a few conversations and we're like, you know, I go to my fitness in VMC, right? A lot of rich kids over there, spoiled brats. And we meet a few times, had a few conversations, maybe had a few sessions together, and they will feel comfortable like talking to you and cracking a few jokes. I'll be like, yeah, like you guys like making shitty product. They don't say that, but they're like, oh man, like be easy with the way, you know, don't deadlift too much because you guys are made in China, break easily.
Dang.
I know, but I love it, man.
Yeah, you like that? So you're okay with it? Yeah.
Because think about it, like it's really something that is so materialistic that got integrated into a part of culture. I think that's super fascinating. Like I think there is actually that perception. Joke aside, I think there's some perception about like everything from China being kind of poor quality, easy to break down, and that becomes some kind of a signature on Chinese people as well. That's my impression. I might be stretching this too thin, but
I never thought about Chinese people, but now I'm starting to think, what's something high quality made in China? Like I'm trying to think of something maybe that I own or something that I'm thinking like, oh, I've got that thing and it's great. Sure, I mean, I've got 1,000 AliExpress things. I love ordering from AliExpress. Love
it's
it,
rare,
love it,
man.
love it.
Isn't it? It's rare because they do make good quality stuff, but that never become the mainstream of our export. It never become like what we're known for. You know what I mean?
Right. Like you guys are good at ramping up production, churning shit out, making it happen on a unbelievably huge scale.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know, like it's that kind of what's that energy I'm trying to find? It's that faux energy, man. It's a faux energy. Like just everybody else trying to innovate, and we come in, we take the product, make it our own, make minor changes or no change whatsoever, but then make the cost of production way down, and then like sell it in bunches.
Sure. I see that a lot in
DJI is China made.
with what, sorry?
DJI, the drones.
Oh, right, they're all made in China, are they?
Yeah.
I
It's a
mean,
Chinese company.
if you can, if you're a company and you need to do manufacturing, and you can secure a manufacturer in China who's reasonable, like I don't think every manufacturer in China, as much as the little that I know, I'm no startup fag, right? But as much as I understand, like there are good ones, but you need to search them, and you need to have good relationships, like anyone, and find a great manufacturer that you've got a great relationship with.
Tough.
And then, right, it exists, but it's difficult. That it's possible to get some good stuff, but it's also hard if you can't go there. It's hard if there's a language barrier or something like that. Either the Chinese company has got to have an English liaison, or you've got to have a Chinese liaison, or something like that.
Because if you think about it, it's like there's no way that they can't make things nice. You know? Do you know, like I live in this little city in Italy, Siena. It's in Toscana, and in the mid of Italy, where they have a lot of good wineries and all that. But they also make a lot of good fashion, high fashion products over there, like leather goods. Especially, it's one place called Prado, and that's a place where they have like a high percentage of Chinese immigrants. And the thing is, when you say made in Italy, they could be made by Chinese people in Italy.
Do you think that stuff, though, that's being made in Italy has a high quality? Is there actually genuinely quality in it?
It's just better quality control, man. Like, I think it's just better quality. Apple is manufactured in China.
Sure.
You don't see a lot of bad Apple products, right?
Sure.
Everybody's happy with it. Apple are considered like good quality stuff. But it's just they have such good quality control. They put so much money into like making sure nothing fucks up.
That's why your phone's expensive. Your phone isn't cheap.
Yeah.
Phone costs a lot. Well, of course, the Steve Jobs tax and shit, but I guess all of the stuff they have to do to ensure the quality there.
Yeah, they just have to, you just have to put money down for the quality control, and that's like a major chunk of money if you want to make anything good in China.
So is that the future of China? Just making shit? Can you see any other way?
I don't know, man.
Is that what confuses you about going back to China? What's my place in this society?
Dude, it's so confusing. Like, I don't... Look at me. Like, what do they need me for?
Big security guards. That's what they need you for. Look at you muscled up and shit.
Yeah, dude, like, that's not my fucking destiny. I can't just go to be a bouncer in China. Do you know how many assholes go to like the nightclubs in China?
Rich assholes.
Those fucking assholes, bro. Yeah. And they have connections with the bureaucrats, and they can fuck me up if I do something bad. But all I'm saying is, like, I've been away for a while, and I like the way of life here. Like, not only here in Estonia, but the way of life elsewhere. I enjoy the feeling of being, like, I think last conversation we have something similar. I think you mentioned that either it was on my podcast on yours. You said you enjoy the feeling of being a foreigner. I don't know, maybe I'm quoting you wrong, but I do enjoy that too. I'm not saying that I want to be special or anything, but I think it's... Again, I'm stealing your idea because you mentioned something about being curious and have that curiosity. Because it's something that I feel very vividly. I feel so curious here. Like, not here, but just anywhere else but China, because I don't have that entitlement to a culture. I feel like I'm at somebody else's house, and I got asked questions, and I need to be humble, and I need to be, like, inquisitive. Otherwise, I don't get shit. That's a good feeling to have, man. I'm 29. I feel like so young, bro. For real. For real. Like, my skin is great. I wash my face with soap only.
Oh, look at this guy. Only soap. Only soap as well.
Fucking raw dogging my face.
Is there something else you should be doing? What else do you do besides soap?
I don't know. I mean,
like wash and stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just
like exfoliating, whatever, right? Okay. I don't do any of that shit, and I have like fucking great skin for a 29-year-old.
You should. I don't wear underwear anymore. That's my thing. I gave up. I gave up years ago. Like, I was just like, fucking, why do we buy underwear? Like, you don't have cheap underwear. Like I'm going to goddamn Prisma or something,
Dude,
buying the underwear.
You're so funny.
So and then if you want to have good underwear, you want to have some of the Calvin Kleins or so, whatever.
I recently just got into it. I thought those like brand underwear is fucking cool, bro.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, my friend, when I was about 20, I had a friend of mine who got me into like, well, not got into, but you know,
got me into the underwear game.
Opened my eyes. Yo, there's an underground scene, yo. And then I was like, yeah, these Calvins, right? They're tight. They, you know, but then you're like $40. It was like, I don't know, Australia, what there are now.
That's
but it was
crazy.
Like $40 a pair. And I did for years. I was like, I only had Calvins. You could have that Calvin thing there. And they genuinely were. And then in the end, I went, I don't want to pay $40 for my underwear anymore. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to go without.
Are you telling me you're not wearing underwear right now?
Correct.
Fuck, mate.
Why is that? Why wouldn't you? Like, why?
That's awesome.
They're hanging there.
That's awesome.
And so under your little shorts there, you've got underwear. Is
I
that what you're
do.
telling me?
I'm double shorting it.
Okay, you've got boxers or briefs or what do you got?
I got like a underwear, like a Nike boxer, and then I got a short that is almost the same length. Sure. Yeah, man.
Okay. Oh, good. Pynchon's nether regions is junk. Things are going well. But you got that Nike thing down there. Okay. Look, it's not. Look, you know, sometimes a little bit.
In the winter, the same?
Sure.
Really?
You got your jeans on. It's not like, I don't think there's a layer of warmth going on with that.
Interesting.
And then people say like, oh, doesn't it? Just wash your jeans. Like, not every day, but you wash your jeans. I don't know how often you wash your jeans, but maybe I wash them every couple of weeks. It's fine. No. I mean, I'm not a kid. I'm not leaving skid marks and shit there. Like, I'm not, you know, it's clean.
Yeah, I get it.
Clean yourself.
I think hygiene wasn't my concern, or at least right now, it's not my concern.
But I'm flashing you underneath the table.
What I am worried about though, dude, it's like the flippity floppity, man. Like it's like the boxer keep it in place.
What's wrong? Okay, I want the flippity floppity.
You do?
Sure, let it run free, brother.
Dude,
let it roam. Like,
dude, I don't know. When you get flippity floppity, like it's
I want to feel a little air.
Dude, I don't know.
I want to feel the air. I want to feel free. I want to go.
Good point.
I just want to, you know, a little bit like that underneath. For a while, it feels exotic. Like that reaction you had, like, you don't have any underwear. Like you had some sense of freedom. Imagine the sense of freedom when you don't. For a while, you're like, you know, you feel great. People don't know. I'm just, I got it right here.
That's so awesome. You're saving money on that end too.
Yeah, I don't have to buy expensive Calvins anymore or nothing like that. Just go for it. I mean, they're also Australian style is these shorts that I've got on, you can swim in them, right? They're whatever, such surf shorts. These are Quicksilver brand, people might know. You know, you just go for a swim and then you get out and then you go do your thing in Australia. So there's no need, if you got this fabric boxes underneath, they take a longer amount of time to dry. The other shorts dry. Like, not that I ever swim, and it's not like I've swum in years in Estonia. Like, it's too fucking cold. I'm not going. My girlfriend wants to go swimming. I'm like, I don't want to go swimming. I'll lie on the beach. I'm not. So
I did go for a dip the other day.
Cold, was it?
Cold, very cold. Yeah, but
where'd you go?
Lahama National Park. Yeah, we went for like a outdoor theater play.
Okay.
They have like this place called Vinnistu, and they have like a little, like, I think it was like a temporary setup for like a comedy, Estonian comedy theater. It was really fun. I didn't understand shit on the first half, but it was interesting on the second half. It's a show about, you know, this new Estonian movie called Eesti Madus. It's got like all this like posters everywhere. I saw
some, with a whole group of people on it. Yeah, brown whole group of people. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And it's written by this really famous Estonian writer. I forgot his name. But this guy who also wrote the comedy theater play. Okay. And we went there to watch it. It was basically about like, it's a satire on how Estonians are so protective of their own cultural identity, especially Estonian language. But at the same time, a lot of that is influenced or informed by like foreign culture, like Germans and whatever, right? So it started with like hundreds of years ago, there's you know, like local peasants killing their German overlord and putting them in the trash bags, and you know, like saying that now we're free, what do we do, and stuff like that. And it ended up with a modern day. After many scenes, the final scene was this Estonian girl who went to Germany and dated this the offspring of those German who got killed, right? And then bring him back to Estonia picking strawberry in the forest. It was really interesting because the second part was getting more modern, and I could understand more because it's got this modern context. But the first half was like very medieval, and I couldn't understand much.
Oh, so you think they used an older use of language?
Yeah,
that was a little bit harder to understand.
Yeah, not only that, it's just like it was so far away. I don't understand what's going on. Like the costume, the setup, it was a different era. But now it's a modern era. The setup, the scene, you can kind of guess as well, even though you don't understand like fully what the language was saying.
Okay, and then they brought it all the way around that now she's dating this foreign guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for the purposes of the play, he was
German
a descendant
guy. It's
kind of
like a closure. They come all the way.
Bring it all together.
Yeah.
And were they generally happy with that outcome at the end, or was it somehow commented upon that was bad? Or
I got no idea.
It is what it is.
I got no idea, man. Like I don't understand that much.
Sure.
Yeah, but I think I read a review later on online about this writer who wrote about not a review, but some kind of an article explaining the play. And he said it's supposed to be a pure comedy. It's supposed to be some kind of a happy ending. And I did get that too, you know. It was really fun.
Do you think you were the only foreigner there watching?
I was the only yellow guy.
Well, sure. I mean, that goes for most circumstances, doesn't it?
I was the only yellow dude.
But do you think there are other non-yellow foreigners?
I don't know. I didn't see black guys.
Okay, you didn't see, but you couldn't tell at least. It's not like there was someone who's
They were all white.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all white. But, yeah.
Are you so fucking racist? You can't tell the difference between us white guys.
I can't.
You can't.
Here's the thing, man. Like, the other day, my girlfriend was asking me. She was asking, like, can you tell apart white people?
And did you just stop and go, huh? And like just look at it for a while? Or
It's just saying, like, sometimes, like, you know, I have a friend. She told me she had a friend in uni, and they were close, like not just a random like acquaintance. And then she said that my friend just posted a picture of her with a bunch of other Chinese or Asian kids. I genuinely couldn't find her. I was scrolling and then trying to zoom in, and I couldn't understand which one was her. And I don't know, man. Like,
did you see this picture?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. Because that's what we want to see. Okay,
I didn't fact check on it. But
how much was this picture? Sometimes it can be hard.
But dude, it can be confusing. I think Asian face are confusing.
Okay.
Yeah, I do get it. And you know, when I first hear about this, I was offended. That was years ago, though. I was offended. I was like, what the fuck? Like, come on. How is that similar? We all look different. But it is now. I see it now. And actually, I can't tell white people's face apart either. I need to know you personally to tell your face apart. If I never had a conversation with you, like, it's hard. Yeah.
The first time, that's like the first time that someone tells you, oh, Asian people, that's like the first, like, I wouldn't be able to remember the first time. I wouldn't even know a time before that exists. It's like someone telling me, like, oh, the first time someone made a knife joke to me or something, like, that's not a knife or something. Like, I did this. I think I'm going to need a toilet break in the moment, but you'll love this. So there's these videos that hopefully they're going to be released soon. I'm doing this event tomorrow. So you may be able to see it if you're already listening. And it's another Invest in Estonia event. And it's a live stream. And to promote it, we made some sketches because this whole hour, it's for investors so they can learn about the Estonian startups and make connections and this shit, right? And Estonia is all about the unicorns. Estonia's got the unicorns, the billion dollar valuation companies. So the sketch is two of them where I'm running through the Estonian forest, dressed up like Steve Irwin, and I'm chasing unicorns. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's one. Blah, crikey. That one went fast. And I had to do this shit all day long. And I was fine. I was like, I don't care. This is hilarious.
Hey, have you guys filmed it already?
Yeah, it's been filmed. I think they're going to show the sketches live tomorrow on this stream. And I'm trying to push them to like put it up somewhere. Like, people watch this. This is fun. Like, it's fun. So stupid. It's so, I'm not pretending it's any form of high humor. It's so dumb. Like, at some stage, I'm like, where's where is he? And then I turn around and they've set up like a zip line in the middle of the forest. And I turn around and go, oh, there he is. And the guy's got like a unicorn head on, and he's got a pipe drive t-shirt or whatever, like Skype or whatever, right? T-shirt on. He's meant to be the Skype unicorn. And I'm like, where is he? And then I turn around and you can see the Skype unicorn get on the zip line and away and then run off through the forest. And then I turn back to the camera. I'm like, oh yeah, I think I saw a stock market over there. That's why I said shit. And then I've got this other line where we went down to Noblesna. And again, it's the same thing, like looking for them. And we set up a picnic blanket and I jump onto the picnic blanket. I'm like, oh, this could be one of their nests. I'm like, ping pong bats, craft lemonade. And then I was like, oh, pitch decks. The pitch cards. And then I put them up to my nose. I was like, oh, these have been pitched recently. They can't be far. And then I run away.
That's awesome, man.
Stupid shit. Let's have a little break and then we'll come back.
Let's do that, bro.
Oh, yes. Toilet break. We're back. Pynchon's here. Pynchon and I just spent 45 minutes discussing a new business idea. So we've had a little bit of a break in the middle. We're going to make money. Somehow we're going to make money. We got to make money. We got to do adjusting here. Do you like the new studio over here?
I do.
What to say about it? It's a big old room, right?
I like the lights.
We got some lights, the camera. We're getting some more mics. I think there's a computer in there. We're kind of working how to make, because we record Tusisojad, Paikas Yankud podcast, Kulapod is in here, Sanders might be having a new podcast. So I have like 4 or 5 podcasts recorded in this room. So we're all trying to find a different look.
I like it. It's used a lot. That's efficient. I love that.
Yeah, we got a little calendar and we all share. There's like 8 of us who share the expenses for this room.
That's lovely, man.
Because this is bigger than a lot of people's apartments.
It is.
36 square meters in here.
I wonder if people stay over here. Do they?
Not yet. We were thinking about putting a couch in there, but then the room filled up. But it is a place, I guess, you could come and if you're particularly drunk.
You're right.
After a night.
It's downtown.
Come and, sleep in the studio.
Prime real estate.
Yeah, it's good. At first I didn't want to take the expense of a whole new room. It's like double the rent and more shit and more money and more gear. But Ari and Mikhail convinced me, and every time they've said, let's step up, they've been right later. Right. They're like, I help them. Like, I trust them. When they say like, no, do this, I end up listening to them. And at first I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of work what you want to do. God, now I got to do that. But then eventually it works.
It's necessary to develop, to grow, bro.
So let's come back to being a foreigner in this fine land here. So you said that you get the permanent residency because you graduated the masters here in Estonia. That qualifies you, but you have also learnt at B1 level already.
Yeah.
Okay. What was that? A school or something? What did you do?
I think it's just like going to courses that are organized by university. Yeah, we have it, and that's enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you do the formal tests or something like that?
No. It just at the end of the coursework, they will give you some sort of, I guess, certification, but it's nothing official. I think the reason why I think I would qualify is because I got the diploma to back it up.
Right, this master's, you
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, okay. So you got this master's from an Estonian university. What was the master's in?
Anthropology.
So it doesn't even have to be an Estonian language thing, but that sort of qualifies you.
Yeah.
Where I don't get nothing.
It was an Estonian-based program. That's why. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not going to go masters, and who knows what parts of my criminal past they're going to bring up in the future again.
But you do want to get the resident permit, right? The permanent one. It will save a lot of hassle. You don't have to apply for it again.
Yeah, I probably would in 5 years, because I think. Yeah, I don't like asking the government for anything. I don't want to. Yeah, 5 years, at every 5-year interval, that my life gets put in the hands of a customs official and someone has to approve that.
Right.
Now, I do kind of get that after such a long period of time, I do believe it becomes less and less likely they're going to throw me out. We start the Save Lewis campaign and all that shit goes down. There was originally a very, very minor Save Lewis campaign because when I first got my visa, you could live here your wage, right? Like based off your wage, employment. But that wage only had to be the minimum wage when I first got a visa. So I made a company, employed myself for the minimum wage, and then I was eligible for the visa.
How much were we talking about, the minimum wage?
300, 400 euros or something at the time.
Huh.
And that was fine because I owed the company and I was getting dividends and other, totally legal ways of getting the money. And then they changed it so that to the current scheme where it's 1.24 times the average salary you need to get. So my wage needs to be 1.24 times the average salary to be eligible. The very imprecise and difficult part is that, average wage goes up every year. So I'm supposed to always give myself a little bit more. But I have discovered that if, it's 5-year gap, right? But if I don't increase my wage, because I'm a business owner, I don't want to give myself more money. I need to leave that money in the company, particularly now when things are tight. I don't want to be extracting more and more money, even if I own the company and, it's me. What I'm pretty sure what happens is that if about a year before my renewal is up, if I then bump up my wage to the correct amount, it's fine. They don't they'll look further back, but they'll be like, I'll be like, I forgot. But then in the last year, I fixed it up. It's fine. As long as sort of at that point.
I get it.
Yeah. Again, Australian attitude. We're always trying to find that little loophole, always trying to find the thing that'll, get us through.
I mean, it's strange they would ask for monthly income as a proof that you can stay here, because if you're a business owner, Elon Musk paid him $1 a year.
Yeah, sure. I guess they got to have something. There is I think there are other visas that if you're a startup guy or a venture capitalist and you put in, I think it's 60 or 70 grand or something, then you can get a visa as well. So I understand they got to have some criteria. But okay, look, permanent residency would be good. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
With a permanent residency card, can you use that as a travel card around Europe?
I think I can already use this resident permit I have right now as a travel.
You got a temporary one?
Yeah.
You cannot.
I cannot.
No.
What do you mean?
You cannot use a temporary, even 5 years is still called temporary, right?
Yeah.
You're going for permanent. I guess what you have and what I have is called temporary.
The 5-year one.
Yeah, you cannot use your temporary residency card as a travel document.
Not even in the EU?
Not even in the EU. Going to Latvia, technically, you're supposed to have your passport on you.
Interesting.
Loads of times, obviously, you just drive to Latvia. When you get there, you get to the hotel, you check in, they don't care. You show them an Estonian thing.
Interesting.
But technically, you should. You can't get on a plane with just your temporary residency permit.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So possibly that's a thing,
I guess.
a permanent residency thing is better from that. You don't need your passport over here.
But what about this? Since we're already on the permanent resident permit, what about the citizenship? Have you ever thought about getting Estonian citizenship?
Doesn't Estonia have the thing that it does not allow dual citizens?
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to give up your Australian one.
Sure, which fuck that.
Yeah?
Well, okay, so why then? Why would I not just get a permanent residency and keep the Australian passport?
See, that's the thing. You can.
Sure.
You can totally do that.
Right.
But what do you want? There's one...
Free entry into Australia. When shit goes down, I'm going to be in the middle of Ayers Rock. Fucking come and get me! So this small prepuce on the edge of Russia, I'd like a place like remember, I don't know if it was some years ago... look, I want to say it was 5, 6, kind of not quite within living memory. We thought Russia was we were holy shit, are they going to invade? There was some thought tensions were getting high 5, 6 years ago, issues were going down. And we were I had friends writing to me, Finnish friends going, are you worried? Are you worried there's the Russians are going to fire up at you guys? And I was like, bro, our plan in the case of that is liquidate Comedy Estonia. That will probably buy us about 20 one-way tickets to Australia. Boom, we're all going. Fuck it. It's Comedy Australia now. We'll set up shop there. If I'll get you all in. I don't know. I'll put you in a shipping container. You're Chinese people. You know how to do some people smuggling. We'll get your expertise on board. I think I was watching The Transporter the other day. That's why I'm now thinking Chinese people do that old movie with Jason Statham where he drives everywhere. I never watched it before, but there's a Chinese magnate who's doing people smuggling in containers. So stereotypes, racist stereotypes. So
I'm triggered, bro.
I think we need to. I think it's still. So what would be in your mind then, the advantage to me getting Estonian citizenship, having to give up Australian?
There's like absolutely no reasonable reason. Yeah, there's nothing I can think of that is reasonable. Like, but I think the thing is, I'm not reasonable. I don't think you're very reasonable. So we do not so reasonable choices in life.
Okay.
Questionable choices. But I think that's it, man. Like you can't. That's you.
All right, there's something about going all in. But would you want to give up the Chinese
and
passport?
You know what I think, Louis? Like I think even if you give up your Australian passport, if shit actually goes down, the embassy will still help you out if you go to them. With your Australian accent, with all this like...
Come on, mate. Let me in. Come on. Don't be a fucking... Nah, come on.
They know what's up. If actually something popped, like Russia came...
Yeah.
They're going to help you for sure.
I mean, I guess I enter Australia on a 90-day visa and then I just blend in with the locals.
For sure. Like, they wouldn't be like, oh, look at that Estonian.
Yeah.
Like, no, you would never be Estonian, even with Estonian
I mean,
passport.
it depends what's going down. Like I'll never be Estonian. Yeah, okay. Jeez, I feel like the weight of the whole country is on me. Like, you'll never be Estonian. My friend is an Aussie friend. He's American citizen now. Yeah. American wife, all of that. But he can have both citizenships because that's allowed by America and Australia. And he let his Australian passport expire, just the passport, right? But he needed to go back to Australia because his mum's not doing well. So he wanted to go back to see the mum. But it's quarantine to get into Australia. So it's $3,000. So 2 weeks. So if you want to get into Australia, first of all, you have to be a citizen or you have to be, I don't know, a rich or very special person. You're not just going on a holiday. So he had to get his Australian passport renewed, had to get it rushed. Like he's literally waiting for the fucking DHL van come so that he could go to the airport. Had to enter on the Australian passport. Then it's still 2 weeks in isolation and $3,000, 3,000 Australian bucks. So it's about 2,000 euros. And then he can... So, on the other hand, I can't get into Australia right now without spending $3,000, even as a citizen.
Why?
Because you have to quarantine. Even citizens coming back to Australia need to quarantine and you need to pay for it.
Well, I mean, your government is sending out a very clear message. Don't come back. So just like listen.
Turn back the boats, mate. Fucking...
Just listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want you right now. Just stay where you are.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay.
Stay put.
Here I am. Yes.
Yeah. I think China have the same policy right now. If I go back, I don't know how much I need to pay, but like I need to be quarantined for a month. In like a stay assigned hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't just go anywhere. I gotta be in that hotel for 2 weeks, move to my home city, got quarantined for additional 1 week, and move home, and then get an additional quarantine at home for 1 week. Damn. So a month of time. Like it's again a clear message. They don't want you back right now. Just don't go.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna give up the Australian passport. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
Look, who knows?
Who knows?
Be kind of fancy, like, ooh, now I've got a European passport. Now
who knows, dude?
European things, but
there's one thing. If you want to be a Estonian, in Constitution it says you need to be loyal to the state. That's the only thing.
Are we loyal to the state?
You need to be loyal to the state.
Are we loyal? How am I disloyal by importing drugs? I don't know.
You need to be loyal to the state, man.
Okay. I mean, I'm doing my bit. I haven't been to the... Have you ever done any sort of military service?
Not anywhere.
Okay. Would you have to have done some if you'd stayed in China?
Not really.
No,
they have enough people.
Okay.
We've
already got a big enough fucking army.
Yeah. Like if they make like military service mandatory, man, half the countries got militarized. No.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't want that.
What do you think? I'm going to switch it up a little bit here. We've been going for a long time. Well, at least we've been talking for a long time. It's been a while since we talked. What do you think? What's the biggest change in your life since the last time we talked?
I got a girlfriend now.
Okay. That's 2 months.
Yeah.
I go, but that's it. Okay, Jay. Wow, you were really hanging on.
A lot has changed because of this, man.
Oh, okay.
Obviously. I mean, you're dating somebody. You know that feeling of like actually finding the person you like, finding the person you connect with. It's a good feeling. It make everything else so, what's that word I recently learned? Trivial. Yeah, it make everything less important.
Wow, that's really nice.
It is super nice.
Thing, huh?
And I got all kinds of energy. I'm running these days. I never run. I like to run now. But yeah, man, like it's a game changer. I guess I'm such a romantic person.
Yeah.
Like I'm a sucker for romance. But yeah, that's a biggest major change. Like if I look at pre this relationship time, it was more about like personal goals that I would like go after, writing a book, and writing the second book, finishing the degree, maybe earn more money, get more things done, right? But I don't think those things like can even compare to, for me at least, to the satisfaction of like be together with somebody that you feel connected to. That special somebody. I think it's very important. And everything look up from there. Like, I don't know if it's a universe, it's the energy. I don't want to sound like one of those people, but I'm just saying when good things happen like that, when you do find somebody you like, a lot of things come together and other things kind of fall into places. I like that feeling, man. It's almost like things are just naturally working out. And the skin is getting better too.
Sunshine helps. Sunshine helps.
It does.
I don't want to. I mean, I'm not here to ask you all the gossipy details, but just in general, how did you meet your girlfriend?
We met on Instagram.
Okay, on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh. We met on Instagram.
So there was DMs going back and forth, and you just started to chat. That's a funny thing. You follow, and then okay, not bad. That's the way it works.
It is better story than Tinder.
Yeah, true.
It's way better. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, you said you're approaching 30. I don't know if Tinder's the place for 30-year-olds.
Nah, horrible place.
Yeah,
horrible.
Certainly not the place for a 40-year-old.
Horrible place, man. Are you happy in the relationship? I know you definitely need to say you're happy because your girlfriend will be probably listening to this.
No, I don't think she listens this far in, so I think I'm sweet. I think I'm all good. I think I'm good.
But like, honestly, like, I feel like last time we had the conversation, maybe my energy was different too, but I feel like, maybe you're not more youthful because we do both age. Last time it was a year ago, right? Roughly a year ago.
Yeah, something like this.
At my place, we had a podcast, but your podcast was a little bit before that, I believe. But I remember it was, At that time, were you in the relationship already?
Maybe. We're together, then there was a little break. And then I think I like all of those. Look, I think I like all of those things that you say. It is important to have connection and togetherness. And I also can stoically look at the world.
Stoically?
I love a bit of stoicism.
Stoically.
Stoicism helps me a lot. Stoicism helps me say, like, what's the opposite? Okay, so you're, I have such strong, what I'm trying to say is that I care and I'm very happy that I'm in this relationship and I like to grow like that. But I have very strong independent streaks in me. Extremely strong. That I've got this part of me that almost like fights against it. And I have to face that battle inside of myself. Independence. I have this really strong voice, and it's not connected to, it's not a reflection on my relationship. That's what I mean. Like, and all that shit you just said about like, oh, I'm so happy and I'm so fulfilled. I'd never express myself in those words. I just can't. Right?
Why not? Do it now. Do it now.
I am, but the words to say it like that. I just struggle with that. There's this voice inside of my head that just says run, go, 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 go. And it says it all the time. So
Go where?
Exactly. Go where? Go anywhere. Go do something else. Do something else. My whole life, I've just gone from place to place. And last 10 years in Estonia, but I have run. I've gone, like, end something or I come to it's like I just move to a completely different place and start again completely fresh, which I understand is not always the best way to do things. And now that I'm 41, you start going like, how's that going to work for you, bro? How do you think that's going to be if you just, you have this daydreaming fantasy, you're just going to move somewhere else and start again and, I don't know, be a YouTuber in Tokyo or something. How do you reckon that's going to pan out for you, brother, at 41?
That sounds great.
I fucking think it sounds awesome.
It sounds great.
But then you start piecing through, like, what would that mean? How is that going to go? And certainly one doesn't want to be held down by responsibilities and all that, but stoicism is a way, that thing of going, okay, you want that. What's the opposite? Or what is the opposite good? Like, would that really work out? Do I, let's say I listen to that voice, right?
But how much?
It's going to fuck me up.
Yeah.
It's there, but I try not to listen to it because it just says, go away. Do something else. Run. And not just from relationship, from life, from responsibilities, from all the stuff like that. But then you start going like, no, I used to listen to you and I got a bit fucked up because I listened to you. Shut up. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to be stable and a good person, and it's still there and it still talks to me to just keep going. And so I sometimes try to silence it, with that stoic attitude of saying like, what if I follow that? How's that going to be? Or what if I do something? Like, what if I follow that forever? Like, logically, I can't do that forever. And also when I have gone and done things on my own, then I've been very lonely in my life as well. So I have followed that and had some amazing experiences, but then being quite lonely at the same time as well. Now I'm not lonely, but I live in Tallinn and not that much happens anymore. Relatively speaking, because we've been in a pandemic as well. And now I live in a small apartment in Lagri.
Again, sounds good.
Yeah, and I like that attitude you have. You have a very positive attitude where I think I can go on the negative side of things, stay in my head and be a bit too negative about things.
I know what you mean because I guess I have dark thoughts myself as well. But it's a thing like I have this coping mechanism I think throughout the year I developed because I have always been kind of alone because I left home early and I was the only kid growing up as well. Didn't have much friend because I was weird growing up as well, I like beating people up, even though I wasn't good at fighting. Okay. I just so violent. All the time I was fighting other kids. And by the end of middle school, and the teacher asked, like, how many of you like got beaten up by Pynchon? Everybody rose their hand. Every single one. I was like beating everybody up and for absolutely no reason. I was so violent. Like, people don't like me, right? And later in high school, even though I stopped fighting, I was still kind of this little loner and just watching anime at home, like, not going to school and all that shit. So this is a theme, like being alone, being lonely is kind of the theme. But back then I didn't have a coping mechanism, and that's why it was really hard. But then at one point I started to figure out like what I do want to do is to write those thoughts down, like just put them into words, because in my head, it's one thing. Even though it sounds like it's words, when people keep asking you this one question saying like, what kind of language do you talk to yourself in your dreams? And I keep telling them, it's not a language. It might sound like, if I want to tell you, it might be Chinese, it might be English, but when it was happening in my head, it was none of those. It made sense to me. It was gibberish. It was just sounds, it's my mind sound. And to translate those mind sounds into words, it's a very empowering, I don't know if I'm using the right word, but it's a very kind of challenging undertaking. Like, you really need to find the right, because you don't want to lie to yourself. You want to be as honest, as diligent as possible to write those thoughts down. And when they actually translate into a solid textual form, right now I write in English, but I used to write in Chinese. When you actually translate your head into like actual text form, it becomes so real, but then it lost its power. It's almost like watching a horror movie when it's the entire time you were haunted by this like sound, this like flashing shadow, and when the actual monster comes out, it's not scary anymore. It's just real. It's solid. It's as real as you and me. If it's you and me, how big can you be? You can be the strongest guy in the world. I can still stab you.
Let's come to this. All right. It's the end of the podcast. Give him the money. and the jewelry, and we're all good. Do you write? How often do you sit down and write?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Good.
I identify as a writer now.
Okay. Jesus, I write every day as well, but I don't think I'm a writer. Okay. I think I'm okay.
But yeah, man. Like this summer, my second book, the first fiction book novel is gonna come out. But yeah, it's a good change of pace. Previously, I was only writing nonfiction, kind of like memoir and the reflection of my life. But now I spice it up with a little bit more, just letting the mind do its own imaginary work, and I enjoy it a little bit more. Yeah.
So when you're doing these writing therapy sessions, and I'm interested because it's something I do as well, and I think it's really profound to write all those things that you said, get it out, put it down on paper, because my brain, I suspect that my brain turns over faster than most people's. Now, we can never know this. You can never know this. I just have a suspicion that my brain goes a little bit quicker and it can get little caught in loops when it goes too fast. And writing it down gets me out of that mental loop. I stop ticking over the same thing over in my head. I get it out and I can move on to the next thought. And the next thought.
But when you say it move faster, because sometimes I feel that I lose of control in the thinking process as well. Does it go to like places you didn't want to go to, or we're simply talking about the processing speed is faster? Because there is a difference. Do you know what I mean?
I'd say probably the processing speed is faster, and it's just flicking between things. This ding, 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 and it's all going through in my brain.
So it doesn't go to unexpected kind of territory that you don't really want to think about. It's not like those wandering thoughts that, you know, it feels like it just went loose.
Not enough, because if I did, then I would have something to write about with my stand-up. I'd say like, oh, there's all these interesting, crazy ideas that I had.
I see what you mean.
My brain just ticks around over and over on similar
that sounds exhausting.
things. So exhausting.
That sounds exhausting, man.
Writing helps. Getting back to stimulants, mild stimulants can help, like minor, well, that's not a stimulant, but it's certainly there. I mean, I like to do the smoky smoke. When I've had in the past minor doses of stuff meant for ADHD and that sort of stuff, it does help. Like this, because ADHD is treated with a stimulant. It doesn't make sense, but it is.
Really?
Yeah, that's why. And I felt that as well. If I have a particular stimulant meant for that, it does help me calm a little bit and helps my brain slow down.
Interesting.
In a weird way. I don't know, or maybe I'm being dramatic to think that I don't know that my brain turns over too quickly, but I would like a holiday from my brain sometimes.
That's great. It sounds good.
If I could, I wish I could.
Yeah.
That's what weed does. Weed is a holiday from the thoughts that turn around too fast in my head and don't really get me anywhere. But then the problem with weed though is, I mean, it works for a while. You have a good time. Yeah, some interesting thoughts. But I probably got like an hour and a half of good stuff, and then it's just zone out. I'm watching puppy live streams on YouTube.
You know, now things come together, because I remember previously you told me you like going to Japan, going to Tokyo to relax. Now it make a lot of sense, because to me, when I was living in Japan, like when I want a break, I always go to Tokyo. I go to downtown. I go to, you know, Shibuya, Akihabara, Omotesando, wherever, right? And the thing is about those busy, if you guys don't know where those places are, they're like mega busy. Downtown, always something happening, hustling, bustling. When I go there, I feel like I can take a break from my mind. That's stimulation, bro. That's what I think it was. It was stimulation for my mind, and it was overstimulation that it kind of overpowered the circuit that was kept running in my head. That my mind power started to be weakened, because on the comparison, I realized, oh, there's more things going on here. That was helping.
Yeah, that makes sense. Even as a little kid, I grew up in a small town, like Home and Away. I don't know if you watched that Australian TV show, Home and Away.
I know what it is.
Yeah, idyllic, beach, surf club, small town stuff. Like I grew up something like that. So as soon as I discovered the big city when I was 17, which was like Sydney, I just fell in love. I was just like, there's millions of people here. There's food, zip zap, big cars, things, music. I was just like, I cannot take this small town. And now I live in Tallinn. Anyway, in Tokyo, it's both. Yeah, it's a really good point that you said that you've got this mega stimulation in a big city that I love. That feeds into me. I think I've always enjoyed that. Also, being in Japan is relaxing in a way that I have zero responsibilities there, and I have nobody wants nothing from me, and I don't have to interact with people. I find my job as a leader very rewarding. I think leadership is an excellent skill to learn. I think it's a skill that can be learnt. I like that for me, the biggest change over the last year has been the continual application of leadership, learning how to be a better leader, knowing that these are skills. And then because I am a leader, I just wasn't a very good one before. So I have a group that I can directly apply these principles to. If you're working in an office, you're a middle manager or something, maybe you got your own small team, but I directly have this group of 20 to 25 people that I can influence and be a better leader for. So that's one of, I think it's what kept Comedy Estonia going. It's what kept me going to be a better leader. But I find it very exhausting.
But you do talk. That's what is the thing I didn't notice before. I was trying to put it into words, but now you mentioned it. That's a difference that I have noticed. You do become more of a, it looks like you were in a cult. You know, you have that cult leader vibe now.
I'm going for it, sure.
You talk more determined. I think that's what I noticed. The things that I didn't know how to put into words. And your look is more intense. It's more like riding the eye socket now, you know?
Maybe. So I don't feel as funny as I used to.
Yeah.
I feel way more serious. But it's been a year of trying to lead these people through the desert, which I understand everyone's been doing that. And I'm not like fucking alone here in the last year, obviously, right? But it's get these people through this crisis. Keep this team together. Keep this group. I mean, groups of, like, we're all stupid. The microphone just fell off Pynchon's quite randomly. Twisted a bit.
Yo, bro, it's just as a message. Like, we have been doing this for too long.
Too long. Get these people through the desert. And I'm not drawing some fucking Moses comparisons here, by the way. I'm just just get everyone through, right? If we and comedians, we're all crazy. We're all crazy artists. We're all very independent. I don't know if it would be easier or worse trying to get like a group of business people through or something like that. But extremely independently minded artists who all want to do their own thing, which I understand, and like to keep them all together on track when they cannot do their work. The one thing that makes all those comedians sane, which is doing shows, they cannot do. Like, they're all retarded, but they found a place that they could have an outlet, and that's become a very important thing for them, that they have this outlet and it helps them balance them. They get on stage, they let it out. For a whole year, I've got this whole group of fired up comedians who can't do nothing. I mean, on stage, they're doing podcasts, they're doing everything else. So, yes, I think the seriousness of that leaked in a bit too much to me. And it's good. Look, it's an honor to be in this situation. I'm not saying I don't want that, right? I'm happy that we made it through. This means these people still have careers. It means there's still entertainment. We didn't dissolve. We made it through. But the leadership exhausts me a lot. And when I go to Tokyo, I don't have to talk to nobody. I don't have to do nothing. No one wants anything from me. I don't have to be responsible for anybody. I don't have to set a standard for anybody. I can just be a degenerate piece of shit, play video games and eat ramen. That's and not talk to anybody. And big that's why
big thumb up for that.
I love that time there.
I know what you mean, man. Ramen is the best.
But then I feel like as well, like then you can look, and again, I know you were very complimentary to me before, but I go like, well, who am I? I technically only have like 6-7 employees, and that's too much for me. I'm a shitty startup leader. There's all sorts of startup bosses out there running great startup companies, 10, 50,
Unicorns.
100 unicorns. I've heard they're in the forest. Yeah.
Unicorns.
And here I am whinging about leading 7 to 10 people. I realize that number keeps changing, by the way. But okay. Anyway, so that's why I know it's not completely, it doesn't solve me, but for some reason I need that deep reset of being alone for a long time.
Are you like off the grid when you're out there in Tokyo?
Nah, not really. No? I'm still connected. I mean, you're in connected Japan, so there's all sorts of stuff happening. And no, I don't think I'm particularly. I try not to. I'm not sitting chatting like on Messenger, but I'm also not looking at Instagram.
Well, you're mostly there by yourself, right?
Yeah, by myself. Yeah. I've got more plans this time. I've got some more some friends of mine who are YouTubers there, and maybe do some videos with them and hang out a little bit more, be a little bit more social. But
are you going again?
Well, as soon as you can. Can't get in right now.
True.
But I was thinking about booking for a January timeline. Flights are about $550 right now. It's about as cheap as they're ever gonna get
in the winter.
Yeah. So because right now in Estonia, now there are events happening again. We need to work. We got company shows, private parties, all that shit is all back, and we ran out of money, so we got to work. So I'm kind of like, I can't go away for a month right now. I got to stay and work. So after Christmas, maybe back to Japan.
Solid.
Oh, maybe I want to do. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, but because I wanted to get an episode with someone who is familiar with Japan, because I wanted to, and maybe more with a Japanese person, because I wanted to do an episode talking about KFC in Japan.
Yeah?
Because there's an awesome story, and dig into the cultural fried chicken in Japan. Most people don't know the connection, but fried chicken is huge in Japan.
It is.
And it all came from KFC. The basic story is in the, I don't know, I want to say 70s, I'm not sure, something like this. There was a guy who tried to bring KFC, like proper KFC, called, the franchise, right, to bring it to Japan. And he brought it there. No one was into it. People don't know what this fried chicken thing is. They don't understand it. And he was trying to fucking work out how to market it. And he went, well, Japanese people know Americans like turkey for Christmas. So he went on and told them that fried chicken is the most American thing that you can eat for Christmas dinner. And now in Japan, fried chicken is the Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. You make your order and you get all that fried chicken and that's what you eat. And it's because, and now it doesn't mean just KFC anymore. It's like when I'm walking around Tokyo or Japan just before Christmas, there's signs like the local 7-Eleven. Put your order in now to get your fucking fried chicken for Christmas Day.
I didn't know that.
From the 7-Eleven.
So cool.
And
good marketing.
It's amazing marketing and amazing story. How I want to learn from a Japanese person, like what does this mean for Japanese culture? This fried chicken thing, it was an American thing, but now it's this, and this awesome story. Very similar, because I did a podcast a while ago on how did McDonald's come to Russia or come to the USSR. So it's a similar sort of, how did a pop culture icon come to a new country?
That would be cool.
So
that would be cool. Do you have somebody in mind?
The only person I can think of is Saburi Ken, who's like the most. Do you know Saburi?
No.
Oh, he's great. He's I think he's Japanese, but he grew up in Malaysia.
Okay.
Super racist. It's so funny.
Super racist.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Against whom?
Against other Asian people, white people, everybody. Hates everybody. I love Saburi Ken. But he's in Tartu. I gotta go hang out with him. But do you know any other Japanese people here that might fit that bill?
Man, unfortunately, no.
Okay. All right. Well, shout if someone's listening and you think that you have a friend who is Japanese or would understand this part of, and it can help to explain what fried chicken means to the Japanese people, I would love to talk to them on a podcast for an hour.
Explain it to the Chinese too.
About it.
Yeah.
What's the does your mum still send you some care packages with different foods and stuff?
Not anymore. She's
given up on
I think she's like over it now.
Okay. Last time you gave me that tea, it was great.
Did you like
so
it?
strong. I mean, very strong.
Potent, eh?
Very potent. Like when you want a strong Chinese tea, like this stuff's got to kick. It lasts me forever as well.
Man, like I told you, I think you didn't listen because you look like you were thinking about something else.
Probably.
But when I told you how to drink it, I said like use the first round of boiling water as filtering water. Pour it away and to drink the second round.
Still did that. Yes, I did that.
You did?
Yeah. Because you could see in the first round there's like stuff coming off.
Pieces come
off. Yeah. Okay, that bit I did do. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm a stupid white guy, but not quite that.
That's great, man. That's great. But I think the second round would still be potent.
Second round's third, even if you're
a
little third, could sometimes still be all right.
That's awesome, man. If I do get something, I will definitely bring you some as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I just didn't. Like this time I got you some chocolate.
Oh, it's very nice. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining.
This is like just from Remy, bro. But if I do get something, since you mentioned this, I know you want some. But next time, if my mom do send something over, I'll make sure you get some. Yeah.
Thank your mother for me.
I know.
I'm glad she's doing well.
That's awesome.
Whew, let's wrap it up, bro. It's been here for a while. What are you going to do this afternoon? You got some plans this evening?
Go home, eat.
Because you're going to the gym so much. You
go home and eat. Yeah, I'm doing personal training now to people. I'm a certified personal trainer.
No shit, really?
Yeah, I got certified by American Council of Exercise.
Huh.
I learned physiology. I know all parts of my body now.
So you're going to train someone or something?
I am already training clients.
Wow.
Yeah, I have 7 clients right now.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. Just a side hustle. I love it.
That's great, bro.
It's so fun.
So you've got how did you get the first clients?
I was in Vimsey Park. There's this little outdoor workout place, right? When the gym was closed. And I go there just to pull up and some body weight training. Mm-hmm. And whenever somebody come over, like if I like them, we have a conversation, I will pitch it. Like, hey, look, I just recently got the personal training. I think like I can help you out if you have some fitness goals that you want to achieve. Huh. That's why I was asking you, what's your goal?
And
you know?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, why is he talking about fucking goals?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You say like, I don't have any goals, then there's nothing I can say anymore. You know, like if somebody is not like in that mind space, thinking about they want to go somewhere with their fitness journey, whatever, I don't pitch it at all. I don't want to be annoying. But if they do say, oh, I want to do this, I want to lose some fat, I want to be getting 6 packs and whatever, then I'll pitch it. Like, you know.
So if you look at me, what do you think I should be focusing on? Or what is there anything in general and you look at me, you think beyond the standard advice?
Man, I don't know. Focus on the relationship, bro.
Oh, look at this guy. Oh, not just.
You got a great girlfriend.
Not just.
Yeah.
That's the second time you've mentioned it. You got a hot for my girlfriend or something?
No, I just think you guys look cute together.
It's nice. I do look cute. You're right.
I saw it. I was like, this is a couple. This is a couple, man. Don't fuck it up.
At an expensive ass restaurant as well.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't go there by myself. It was paid for.
It was at Palio Villa, and it was nice, but it was like 140.
Crazy
for
mosquitoes
the wine
out there,
and everything. I know. I think I'm that whinging, like whatever boyfriend guy's like fucking so much on
140 for 2 of you.
Yeah, we had the wine for. No, was there 110? No, it was 110. But I haven't had. Also, it's her birthday next week, so it's kind of. All
it doesn't kind of like it's next week and
weeks
ago. It's 2 weeks apart. If the girlfriend is listening, you deserve a separate dinner.
And she's getting it, I think.
Yeah, do not let him tell you that was a birthday dinner, even though it was expensive. You can't play it off like that, bro. No, that's not right.
True. Well, I love it. You've got tips for fitness. You've got tips for relationships.
I didn't give you any tips. Nothing come for free. If you pay, I'll give you advice.
Dude, when you say that, your Chinese accent comes back. Oh, nothing comes for free. Oh, as soon as it comes to money, the Chinese comes out in him.
So racist. I'm so triggered right now. Oh my God. I can't even. God, this guy.
All right. We're going to end it. Thank you.
Wait, what got to end the podcast with this note?
No?
You being racist. Thanks, Louis.
See you. Thank you, guys.